and let's see how this goes. And great. All right, so thank you, Sean, for coming and taking time to meet with me and talk about
Sure.
your experience with us so far.
Definitely.
You're one of our newest members, so thought I've done a couple interviews with folks that have been with the group for a few months, and now I'd like to also share someone who's really new to the group to kind of see, help share a perspective of, after I think it's been 1 week or 2 weeks.
2 weeks. Yeah.
2 weeks
About
now.
about a week of
Yeah.
trading though.
And share that, right? So
Awesome.
first, want to talk a little bit about your history. So, what got you into trading? Like, what was it that was like your driving factor that, hey, I want to spend time to become a trader?
So a bunch of different things. So I'm in the real estate finance world, and so I build homes. I'm a real estate broker, and back in 2000, I traded a lot of stocks. And if you remember what happened the latter part of 2000, well, things went down. So I decided at that point that all my investments, I'm going to be able to go walk on them. So, that was kind of my thing for a long time. And then COVID happened, and all my other builder friends are telling me how they're killing it in the market. And I'm finally just got sick of hearing from them. So I'm like, I'm smart. I can do better than these guys because they're just lucky. And so back in about November, I started paper trading for about a month and just studying my butt off. And then in December, I actually joined Black Box, and so opened up a whole new world of study materials. Went through all the homework on there like 3 or 4 times. I mean, I've got hundreds of hours of screen time just learning so far,
Good.
and then learning the flow and the options and all that sort of stuff. And just a sponge, just going after it. And I did real well, at first, and then got a little greedy and gave some of that back. But luckily, I'm still up from when I started, and that's how I came across you, as one of the mods there, and you know, looking at your stuff, and oh, he gives us these lines every day, and we can put those on our charts. I like that, and just really trying to get inside your head from what I could see there. And then I discovered this, and I'm like, I got to be a part of this. And so, just the structure of everything is
Right.
what really attracted me, because I 100% agree. You got to treat it like a business. It's got to be kind of a machine, and that's exactly why I'm going to end up doing real well versus my buddies that are just, oh, this one's moving, I'm going to buy this, and you know they'll be calling me when the fund's over and after they give it all back. So,
Right. Right.
but so
Uh,
yeah, I'm pretty green as far as trading goes. I understand it all. I've got a finance degree, and that's what I have studied, forever,
right.
but mostly on the real estate side of stuff and REITs and things like that.
Okay. Good. So, and then, so then your friends got into it, kept like in your ear, and then you're like,
Oh
okay, I'm gonna
yeah.
get into this. And then you said you dove into learning.
Yeah, dove into learning, because I,
Good.
I was not going to come in, you know, I, you know, I know what I don't know, or I know a lot of what I don't know. And I knew
Right.
that, things have changed a whole lot from when I used to do this. And so I really focused on just getting as much of a quick, solid, base as what I could. And, you know, started from the beginning too, just to refresh my memory. I mean, candle patterns and, bullish patterns, bearish patterns, all that kind of stuff, and just went through all of it. And, back in the day, I used to primarily, back when Pier 1 was a company, I primarily had Pier 1 commons and sold covered calls. That's mainly what I did. And so I had some mechanics of options and stuff like that. So when I came across the whole flow trading thing, I loved it, and then once I got access to all that homework, I mean, oh, it was like, just Christmas morning. So I bet I've watched those dumb videos 3 or 4 times each on that website. So
Yeah. Yeah. No. The option flows can be great, incredibly great, and the Black Box platform is awesome. So I
yep,
love using it, and I love being a part of their group as well, and sharing my analysis and thoughts about what's happening in the market.
yep,
And
Yep.
So then you discovered the 2 Hour Trader program.
Yep. Yep.
And so before joining the 2 Hour Trader program, what fears did you have?
Um, Spending the money, primarily.
It is,
That
it is
was,
spending.
and I thought about that. In fact, what is it, Kevin? That one of the.
Yeah.
So I was emailing back and forth with him. I'm like, I'm gonna think about it, And this was like, I think this was on a Friday, and then I thought about it for about 10 minutes. I'm like, well, if I do it right now, then I got all weekend to study before Monday. So I did it right there. So I mean, I thought about it for like an hour.
Okay. So you said it sounds like you had a little concern, but you weren't too worried about it.
Yeah, well, honestly, I broke it down on a daily basis, and come on, I mean,
It's
it's anything that you can fast forward. One of the other things that I do, just as a kind of an analogy, is I run Airbnbs, and I knew nothing about it to start with. So I decided, I'm just going to bite the bullet, pay for some information. And this guy was a total con, but he had some good data. And I basically bought that data, took it, it fast forwarded me getting my Airbnb set up because I reworked a lot of the stuff that the processes that he had that fit my situation. And I was up and running, and it was fantastic. So, anytime I can pay money to have a leg up and speed things up. I mean, it's like going to college. I mean,
yeah,
conceivably, I mean, I've got a finance degree. The stuff I've learned here since December is nowhere near what I took 4 years to learn. And you can actually make money with this.
yeah, yeah.
So, and it's way cheaper.
Yeah, I mean, I probably got over 10,000 hours of screen time at this point,
Wow.
and I've then diluted all of that experience and information and try to go, okay, how do I make life simpler
Right.
and like where I can have the best risk reward and probabilities and enjoy a life,
Mm-hmm.
right? I want to trade to live, not live to trade.
Right. Right.
And and I found, spent a lot of time going into the psychology of trading and myself and mental capital. And that's why I came up to, hey, you know what? 2 hours is pretty solid.
Yeah.
You can be done in an hour. And I went back through the history of my trades and how often I was up 3 grand in a half an hour, and then I'd end up down 5 grand because, I might be up, I might build up to seven. And by the middle of the day or something, I might be, working and trading well, but then you get exhausted
Yep.
mentally, or you have a bad, and you end up then getting to this like you took a bad trade, and then you want to get your money back to get back to your peak, and then it starts a cycle, and then you're just at the end of the day, you're just not feeling good,
Yeah. I wouldn't know
right?
anything
And
about
it's a
that.
trap, and you do it over and over again, and then I'm like, you know what? Hey,
Yeah.
let's take a shift, and that's how I came up with like let's focus on the first 2 hours, and let me find a way to make it a process. So I came from an engineering background,
Okay.
and so I was kind of like, okay, I need to turn this into a decent process that then I can also take and show other people, because I also can't put all my capital to work,
Right.
right? So if I can teach people my process and put them on and put more eyeballs out there on stuff, everybody
Definitely.
wins, because we
Yep.
now have a community that can share.
Well, and I've noticed that just in the last week. So, you know,
Yeah, you'll
thanks
see
to
me
thanks
like
to you, I had to buy a new giant monitor on top of my other giant monitor. So I've got all my watch list charts up there,
okay,
and so I'm able to watch those, and I can tell when you're focused on like these three over here, but this one over on this side starting to do something real interesting, and then someone will call it out, and I can totally see the teamwork.
yeah,
And because you can't keep your eyes on all of that, even 15 or 16, it's hard to watch all of them.
yeah.
So,
And so what we're doing is it's a waiting game, right? What fits into our setups?
yep, and I love that.
And so it's great. I love to hear that you got your other monitor set up,
Oh yeah.
and I
I'm
can't
up to
wait till you
5 of
start
them
calling
now,
calling some
unfortunately.
setups out and going, hey, such and such ticker is
Yeah.
hitting this setup of ours, and here's our risk and here's our reward, and let's go bank.
Yep. Yep.
So that's awesome. Um, so the so you came and joined us, right?
Yep.
And in the week that you've joined us, like what was it that's been unexpected, like that you learned or saw or that you
I
weren't
mean,
prepared? Yeah,
this is unexpected. The hands-on with you and other members, it's been incredible. I mean, you know, I thought Black Box was warm and fuzzy, but man, this is, I mean, everybody is so, so helpful. And
good.
I mean, you and I were messaging last night, close to midnight my time. I mean, everybody's accessible. If you've got a question, it's getting answered.
Yeah,
So I love that. And, I've actually helped one of the other new guys set up some of my little quick stop loss orders, with,
yeah. Saw that you shared
stuff like
already. It
that.
looks great.
So, I mean, it's just, everybody helping everybody. And it's very apparent so far. That's probably been the biggest surprise.
Yeah, no, and I really like how right off the bat, when you had a question about one of your trades, and I had said, hey, can you go mark up the chart, and then I can go and review the trade with you
Hmm.
to see what was, what you were, what we were thinking, and you went and did that, and we were able to do that little one-on-one quickly.
Yeah, it was awesome. It was awesome.
And but you see, you helped me help you,
Yeah,
right? Rather than just saying, hey, what
sure.
was wrong? You kind of said, here's the chart. Let me set up let me share what I was thinking so I can help you with another way to maybe look at it.
Well, and that's my process. I mean, it kind of like your other video about, labeling a chart. I mean, if you can put that out and it just it gets rid of the gray area. You know exactly what I'm talking about at that point, and you can tell, yeah, you were right, and it was just a
Yeah, we
bad
did it in 10
trade, or
minutes,
you were
but
crazy. Yeah,
hey, it was
easy.
quick.
The hardest part's marking up the chart, and I'm
Yeah.
getting that down. So,
Yeah. And then the thing is actually the process of marking down the chart, you'll start seeing stuff.
yep. Well, that's what I've been doing with the watch list stuff. I'll take a snip of my watch list screen, and then I'll just at the end of the day when they're all completed and just start going, okay, which ones could have been played or not. And
Good.
I mean, just like yesterday, Tesla, Pinterest could have been played. I mean, there were some good ones yesterday, and I
Yeah,
missed them all.
that's great. So since you joined, it's only been a week, but how would you say your trading's been going this last week?
It's less chaotic.
Good.
So my daily profits have been steadily, so when I joined, my goal was initially, trying this out and everything, if I'm green 250 a day, I'm happy, because
Mm-hmm.
that starts to add up. And I'm averaging, around 350, 400 a
Oh,
day.
good.
And the days that, like I had 2 days this week that I just didn't trade. One day, Tuesday, I think it was, nothing looked good, so I just didn't do anything, which 3 weeks ago I might have done something. So I'm really trying to stay the course.
Right.
And
Yeah, which is actually kind of important, right? Because the pressure to have to take a trade and what you lose, you actually have to then do double the work, right? Because
exactly.
you got to recover that plus whatever you wanted to gain, or at least that's
Yep.
how you think, right? One would
Yep.
think.
Yeah, I've been really trying to, protect my capital,
Good.
not do something stupid, because I've done plenty of those. I've done plenty of those Friday YOLOs on Tesla that, 0 day contracts that sometimes they hit, sometimes they get really ugly. And, just like that Google trade earlier in the week, I messed up the first part and then my mind started going crazy and ended up getting lucky in the end, but it was a horrible trade, it just botched
Yeah.
it.
Well, and that's I actually really appreciate how you were able to go back and realize that, hey, yeah, you ended up the day green, but that doesn't necessarily mean you traded great
Right.
or good.
Yep. There's always that element of luck that
Yeah.
can make you look good on paper, but the way you got
Right.
there wasn't right and
Right.
not
It wasn't.
repeatable.
It didn't get you there the way you planned.
Yep. Yep.
So yeah. So good. I mean, it's great to see the way you think. and your approach to trading.
Thank you.
So I really love that. So that's good. Uh, so the are you? I guess I don't want to prompt you. The How do you feel about your trading out? Like in the last week, 2 weeks, a month, just from coming from a place where you hadn't really been doing day trading, how's the to where you are, like say 3 weeks ago before you joined us, and the last week, how do you feel like you stand now, and where you're going?
I like it a lot. So prior to this, I've been swinging a lot of things, and as you know, I mean that's always stressful, and I'm slowly getting my positions down to where I've got a few good swings that I want to keep, but I want to be focusing on in and out in the same day. I love that. And then maybe swinging a little bit overnight, but I don't want to be at the market's mercy, for large amounts of money, especially coming into summer. My goal is in May is to get out of most of my longer positions. But so yeah, I mean that's been huge, and that's kind of changed my outlook on things because going back to the whole thing is as a business, you can't float 20% of your account at the risk of some crazy market makers that are going to dump things and you're stuck out. As a business, you got to take what you can get, and it really opened my eyes seeing the daily small gains, because I'll be the first to admit I was focused on percentages, and for the last 3 months, I was typically holding positions until I could sell for at least 20%. And then that would end up, some are really good, some are zero, but to be out at the end of the day with, most of your capital, I love that. And because I want to make this 100% business, I'm tired of construction. I'm tired of dealing with homeowners. I like dealing with my screen. you know, Stock trading and Airbnb, and I'm a happy man. So that's
That's
my
awesome.
goal.
Like yeah, no, that's what got me into trading was, yeah, I know we haven't really talked too much, so we don't know too much about each other.
Yeah.
But what got me into trading was I got tired of managing employees
I can
and
see that.
staff and staffing, and like you have a great win, and now nobody wants to work. Right. I mean, that's like today, but back when I was having a hard time finding, talented people to help
Hmm.
staff projects, and
Sure.
and that was just like it became such a big headache. And I'm like, if I don't do that and just doing like I came engineering and software development, and I was like I was limited by the number of hours I put in for how much I could ever make.
Yep. Yep.
And I was like, okay, I got to find a better way. I got to find something else. Sorry, I keep moving my chair around it. And so that was my impetus. It's like, okay, I got to find something else that doesn't that I'm not limited by time. I'm not limited by location, and I'm only limited by myself and my talent.
Yep. Yep. And see, that's a big thing for me. So, my professional life since day one out of college, I've been a 1099 self-employed employee, in real estate or whatever. And then at one point in time, I decided, I want that corporate job and the office and all that. So I
No
went to go
stress.
work for a company that lasted for 3 months. I couldn't do it, couldn't be in a cage. So got back out, started doing everything. And so that's my mentality. I'm an entrepreneur. I like to, set my own rules and things like that. But the thing right now with construction and real estate brokerage is I have to be here. So my Airbnb business that I've set up, I don't have to be here. That's automated now. If
Yeah.
I can get this to where I can go mobile, that changes things, get rid of the other stuff. And now I can, if I want to go to the coast for a month, I can, and I can still work while I'm down there. So that's the goal now.
Yeah, and I don't know if you saw, like a month ago, did a test run where I went camping and actually
I
took
saw
my,
that. I saw that.
yeah,
The mobile
yeah. So I
setup.
got power and Verizon Wi-Fi, cell service, and yeah, I was able to
That's
do things
awesome.
from on the road.
That is great.
Uh, so it was nice to be able to do a little bit of that.
Hmm.
And so yeah, so we're definitely getting to a place where the world's getting to a place when we're going to be able to trade from anywhere. Just
I
waiting
know it's gonna
for
be great.
yeah. So it's really really cool. Um, so last question.
Right.
What would you maybe want to share with anyone who's thinking about joining us or um, wanting to, you know, say, hey, is it what, what's going on here? Or want me to learn something? Or what would you share with them?
Well, first of all, I'd say it's definitely worth it. Um, you know, I've got three other friends that followed me into Black Box, and now I'm the guinea pig over here. So I've got three other people that are probably going to be coming over fairly soon. And I was talking to Brett, one of my buddies, yesterday, and I'm like, you probably ought to go ahead and do this. It's definitely worth what's there, but just wait another month or so, and I'll let you know how things are going. But kind of I digress. But I think it is totally worth it. I mean, having the one-on-one with you and the other mods, and just a group of people that are thinking the same way. You surround yourself with people that are better than you, doing something you want to do. You're going to rise up to that level. And that to me is just awesome to be able to find a community where you can do that. And then on top of everything else, just the chart review and the education, and Discord. I mean, Discord's so invaluable these days. For you can just have it all right there. I mean, you can get on in the middle of the night, ask a question, someone's probably going to answer you. So it's just kind of a hotline for questions and answers and comments. It's fantastic. I mean, if you're not a black box member, the other thing is the watch list levels. I mean, that's huge. I mean, so when I first started getting into this and studying Fibonacci, and it just blew my mind how things would bounce off these Fibonacci lines, and it's just kind of creepy actually. But watching your stuff and your support level lines and everything, I mean, I don't know, it's weird.
They work, right? Sometimes
They do,
it's
they
eerie.
do.
It's
And
eerie.
and
Like I
I
don't.
was back testing a bunch of them, just looking at it and stuff. I mean, it was pretty interesting. So
Yeah.
that is huge too. And the way you have the package ready to go. I mean, you get it on the morning, you get your notes, you get your watch list levels, you get your tickers, so you can pop them into Thinkorswim. You get the video to show you how to do that, which was super quick and easy. It's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, well, it comes so again, so back to my engineering background. So
Hmm.
it was actually an industrial engineering, so it's all about process
Yep.
and how to make things more efficient, right? And that's why I was kind of going, how do I make this? Because it actually all started with how do I make things more efficient for me, right? Like
Yep.
I needed a watch list, I needed a process, and and then as everything progressed, each time you're always just doing continuous improvement, right? And one of the things that was a big pain was doing those watch list levels and getting them on the chart, right?
Yeah.
Otherwise, because I had made the watch list for myself, I already kind of knew the levels in the back of my head as stocks moved to different places. And then I'd always have to go cross check the list just to make sure about the number and all that. And I would do that. But now having the watch list actually in the levels in Thinkorswim,
Right.
and that it's just a quick copy paste,
Yep.
it's huge.
It is
Because
huge.
compared to
I mean,
like before, if I really wanted to draw the levels out, it would take me a half an hour to go through every ticker and chart it all out.
yep. Yep.
And
I mean,
and
it's
and now
it's
not, it's just like copy paste done.
yeah. I mean, just think of it from someone who's thinking about getting in. I mean, paying somebody $20 a day to set your levels up for you. I mean, anybody would do that. And I mean, it's kind of a no-brainer, you know.
Right. Just the levels, right? Yeah, that's
Yeah,
funny.
just the levels. Now, I wish TradingView was as easy as Thinkorswim, because I would love to have my watch list charts in TradingView, just because it uses less muscle from
Computer.
the
Yeah,
computer.
yeah.
Yeah. So I've had to upgrade numerous things as well. So
The no, I know, I've been running into issues with Thinkorswim sometimes too. So I might be spending more time with seeing how I can get TradingView to really work better for us.
yeah, it's
Because
just not as easy to put them in there. I think with the coding that goes on that,
yeah,
it's a slow
yeah. So,
process.
but they have other ways, right? So I might be able to set up a way where we can, I actually just publish it and it just imports to your study automatic. I don't know if
Okay.
we can get it to do automatic or not, but I'm
Hmm.
trying to see what I can figure out on that.
Yeah,
But
that'd be
we're
cool.
digressing from the interview.
Yeah.
But that's the idea, right? It's always like, how do we make the process better, more
Right.
efficient?
How do you grow?
And also like, not all of it, I've had members come and contribute ideas and code, and so that at the end of the day, we're all kind of um, being raised up, right?
Right.
And
Right.
it's all geared toward this concept of our process and finding momentum stocks, and then figuring out the risk, figuring out the reward, and then executing on it, good or bad,
Definitely.
and not being where the big thing is like I hope you're also noticing that you don't need to pressure yourself that, hey, today has to be a trade that pays me,
Yeah,
right?
and that was because normally I do, and Tuesday I didn't. I just didn't see anything. I'm like, it's better than losing $400. I'm just going to be zero. And even yesterday, just I made a conscious decision the night before. Okay, I'm not trading on Friday because I've got to go do other stuff. And of course, I kept wanting to peek in and see what was going on, but I didn't do it, and it wasn't bad. And that may happen on Monday too, unfortunately. But I will be there on Tuesday.
Good.
Yep.
We want to see you in the room,
Yep.
and yeah, because once you get really comfortable, you're gonna know those setups, and you're gonna you've already started, like the days that you did take trades, you were able to act on it, and you saw how they worked out.
Yep.
Or if it stopped, then that we were taking small stops, ideally not big losses.
Hmm.
And
Yeah, and that'll
so
be the biggest thing for me is working on getting the stop set up and the risk levels and like I told you before, deciding a smart place for that, not necessarily a number that I'm comfortable with.
right, that's right. I'm sorry, I have so many conversations.
Yeah, oh, I
I
imagine.
forgot that's what we had talked about. But uh, but yeah, right. The a lot of people arbitrarily set a dollar amount to lose if it goes against you.
Right. But what
And
if that support level's at $1.10?
right,
And you had put it there, it would have had
so
time to work
you
and
got
then
to
go.
trade the chart, not the profit and loss.
Yep. Yep.
Right. And if your entry or your sizing was off, then you're going to need to do some management. Um, and so I'm sorry, I'm like wanting to like give you a lesson in something real quick, and that's good. It'll take away from the interview stuff from everyone. So, but I'll tell you more. When we
Yep.
go offline, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about
Awesome.
that. And anyways, want to really thank you. Is there anything else you want to maybe share with everyone
Um,
that's watching this?
I can't think of anything that we didn't cover. I mean, Spectre and the gang there are fantastic. I mean,
Okay.
give it a
Well,
shot.
really
It's
appreciate
it's
you
uh
saying
it's
that. I
it's
mean,
it's really cool.
well,
It'll
great.
change the way you look at things. I mean, it's opened my eyes to a whole different way to trade.
Awesome. Well, thank you. Thank
You're
you so
welcome.
much. Let's see. I'm new to Zoom a little bit, so I'm not an expert. But anyways, so let's talk.